On this episode of Cumberland River, a man and a snake have a traffic dispute. I would really prefer not to get the law involved.
Soon may the wellerman come, bring us coffee, tea, and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, take our leave and go. At a fair on the town, her hair was blonde and this was brown. Soon may the wellerman come around.
I'm down south again, near the Tennessee-Kentucky border, back on the Cumberland River. On the last trip, I sailed downriver with the current and the wind behind me, and I ended up covering a lot more distance than I meant to as a result. The trip downriver, downwind is of course very easy and enjoyable, but when I turned upriver to row back to the launch site, suddenly I had a newfound respect for river sailing. I'll be modifying my approach on this trip, and intelligently, I think, starting out by going upstream, so the return trip will be much easier. If the predicted north wind arrives, I should be able to cover some distance by allowing that wind to push me upriver a ways. But regardless, I'd rather get the hard work out of the way when I'm fresh, early on in the expedition, and if I'm tired later in the day, I can simply drift with the current to get back to the launch. Moving along at a leisurely pace with the drone of barges on the nearby river channel, I was determined to go as deep as possible into the heart of the flooded river bottoms. This shallow wooded area just outside the true river channel contains a network of many wooded islands and strange maze-like passages. It's a very beautiful and mysterious place. What little wind there was finally quit, but at least I had managed to gain some easy distance. I believed this to be a common water snake, but I wasn't sure at the time. I got a little overzealous in moving the skiff closer to record. The snake was a little confused by me, and neither of us knew who had the right of way, but eventually we worked it out. I continued on this long, narrow strip between two islands for at least a kilometer, and it's a little slower going when you're rowing up the current. And even though I'm not on the Cumberland River proper, the channel is not far away to the east, so there is still some current here. Other than the unfortunate reality of floating plastic bottles, this duck blind was the only sign of human activity. The area is popular for waterfowl hunting, and that's really the only activity that it's very popular for. There's not a lot of fishing going on out here, and definitely not a lot of recreational boating. If you watch the brush behind me, you can get an idea of the current here. And there is a little bit of current. And the nice thing about that is it should be pretty easy getting back. I could just drift at this pace if I wanted to. Eventually, the narrow passage between islands opened up into a sort of crossroads. I didn't know where to explore first. I settled on a small, hidden passage just to the east. I decided to check out this little passage to the east first, and for some reason the current has really picked up right here. I don't know if that has to do with the depth, but I'm just cruising along, just sitting here, not doing anything. But man, this place is really wild out here. This is probably one of the most remote places I've been in LBL, especially during summer. There's hardly anyone out here. It's a popular area for waterfowl hunting during that season, but during summer there's a few fishermen here and there. But you know, I've seen one boat from afar today. Other than that, I'm the only one out here. Feels really wild. Got a heron and an egret just over my right shoulder. I have tried and tried to get good video of an egret, and they are just extra spooky for some reason. The great blue heron is spooky enough, but an egret does not want people anywhere near. This bass boat was one of only a couple boats that I encountered on this day. You must know these waters well to be running back here. As I came around the corner, what I thought was a single island revealed an unexpected hidden creek channel running through it. Originally, I had a notion of maybe exploring some of these islands on foot, but that went away pretty fast when I realized what the ground is like on all these islands. It's a very sticky primeval mud that will swallow a pair of Crocs and belch out the heel strap. I was almost ready to turn down river when a wind developed unexpectedly, and I'm not one to turn down an opportunity for sailing. I took advantage of the easy propulsion to investigate a mystery object I could see protruding from the water several hundred meters upstream. Prior to the building of Barkley Dam, these river bottoms were once inhabited and farmed. It's not unheard of for boaters to encounter structures that are still standing. I thought that this structure may have been some sort of old farm-related building emerging from the riverbed, but as I got closer, I realized it was actually an overturned duck blind. It was getting late in the afternoon, and it was time to turn down river and begin slowly closing the loop and heading for home. Coming out of a narrow space between the main shore of LBL and a small island, I was kind of shocked to see really a pretty substantial broad creek. I had no idea this was here. I was only 800 or 900 meters from the truck. This place is just full of surprises. Notice the distressed, random appearance of the surface of the water. This seems to be due to conflicting wind and current. I really haven't encountered this very much. Pennants are now available at cumberlandrover.com. Historically flown for signal purposes, a pennant is that indescribable something that your boat is missing. They can help you read the wind, increase visibility of your small craft, and they just look cool, fluttering from the masthead or yard of a lug sail. You can have any color you want, as long as it's bright red. I have 2 styles of pennant now available at cumberlandrover.com.